I know you were a constant through this whole process. We weren't kidding. We actually were building a new home office, and it finally did happen. Greg and I started talking about this more than 7 years ago, and so to be here today is really exciting for all of us. It's a nice time to reflect. It's a great way to honor Sam and Helen Walton. The fact that this building is named after him means a lot to us. And I love that the amphitheater, the outdoors, nature is named after Helen. It almost didn't happen here. Sam was in Newport, Arkansas, starting to build a retail business, and that didn't work out. So they headed this direction and they looked at property in Siloam Springs. Thankfully, they found a spot on the Bentonville Square. Sam loved the fact that he could get from here to hunt in 4 different states with 4 different hunting seasons, Barry. So Bentonville wins. He moved into that space on the square and immediately wanted to double its size. So he started negotiating with the barber to be able to expand. That sounds like a very Sam Walton thing to do. In 1992, he accepted the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and he said out loud, for the first time that I know of, our purpose. And before he said it, he said, the secret is we're all working together, and we're trying to keep that going today. Doesn't matter what job you have in the company, we're just trying to work together to make things better for our customers and our members. That's the culture that we want to have. And when I look at our situation, I think about just trying to perpetuate our purpose. How do we continue to grow the company so that we can serve people better? Serve customers, serve members, serve our communities, make a difference in everything that we touch. Our campus wouldn't be here if it weren't for our chairman, Greg Penner. I want to thank Greg, our board, the Walton family, for being able to support this investment. They didn't ask us to go shop the construction of a new campus around the country to see whether Dallas or Chicago or Atlanta or some other place would pay us to come. They didn't take 10 seconds to decide we're going to be here in Bentonville. This is our home. And I'm really grateful for that. And it feels like a day of new beginning. This isn't a celebration of the past exclusively. It's a moment for us to think about what the future can look like. And it does feel to me like in many ways this company is just getting started. We thank you for your support. We hope that you enjoy the campus. I'm glad that it's accessible to everybody and not just Walmart associates. So I hope that you enjoy it. I'm going to hand it back to Dan and to Cindy now. Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, Dan.
All right.
You get the pleasure of giving the highlights reel. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Well, I do want to thank you, Doug and Greg, for the leadership and everybody, all these stakeholders, seen a lot of familiar faces here that helped, 7 years ago to where we are today. It's kind of a pinch yourself moment. We've had some long days, long weeks, but we are here. And we think about this place because what Doug says is we're just kind of getting started here. We've got some momentum in the company, but we believe this is going to unleash even more for us to become a high-performing culture in which our teams can work in ways they never have before. So we're really excited about that. Again, good to see Tim, our Arkansas Attorney General, Sarah, everybody here. Really appreciate it for everyone being here, and obviously all the partners that we literally wouldn't be here today without your support and your work. From the project start, we've taken a principle-led approach to this. Winning work environment, one that is flexible, tech-powered, and delivers on collaboration in space and saving time and tons of natural daylight. True to who we are, which means we put the needs of our associates first and reflect our values, including our commitments to EDLP and regeneration. And finally, nurture people in place. Modern amenities and office buildings, an abundance of natural spaces, and a seamless connection to the community. And that was one of the real things we thought about in this community. Oftentimes, you see corporate campuses they almost go out of their way to wall it off from the community to make it exclusive. We had the opposite idea. We wanted this to feel like, depending on what side of the street, you didn't know if you're on campus or off campus, you're in this town, you're not. And the fact that the Razorback, and we'll talk more about the Greenway and those things, this is going to be everybody's campus, not just Walmart Associates campus. It's one of the really exciting parts about it.
I'm going to take you back for a minute. 2017 in September, it was shared that we were going to build this new home office campus. We did a lot of years of permitting, planning, master planning together. We did a lot of demo. We purchased a tree farm. We incubated 5,000 trees, right, Gerdo? We saved 300 on the site, including old growth trees. That's not easy. We built a layout center. We completed 2 central utility plants on site. Mayor, we moved a city substation. We buried utility lines. We moved around. It was pandemic years, right? Take you to 2020, 21, all that. What are you doing over there? It's all subterranean. There's 100 miles of infrastructure beneath our feet on this campus. It was pretty phenomenal. We were accelerating the building of our parking decks Those are all prefabricated facades. They were coming in on flatbreads. They went up tight. People were like, those are office buildings? Like, no, it's a parking deck. We then we put foundations in. We bought a mass timber factory plant. We started that down there. And we basically sort of took the premise of big nature and started bringing it to life. About half of this campus, in fact, is all natural. That takes us through 23, 24, when we started to open our very first amenity buildings, right? So that took us into the Walton Family Whole Health and Fitness Center. It just celebrated its first year anniversary, 750,000 visits through that facility. Over 30,000 members of Walmart associates and their families. The Little Squiggles Children Enrichment Center, we've got 400 kids enrolled over there, Dan. We thought we would be there at about year 3, 8 months. We're already there. It opens up 15% capacity of childcare in this region, long overdue. So our Walmart families are pretty happy, and I just really will say one more time, a huge appreciation to the Walton family for funding those 2 facilities. It felt really great for our associates and their families to get those open first. And I think having that really nearby is going to be really pretty spectacular for us. The hotel nearby, see it still under construction. She's just a few months out from opening. That is the AC Hotel by Marriott in Bentonville. 153 rooms, bookable space down below, and a beautiful rooftop lounge. That's for us on the weekends, or us on the week, for our associates during the week, but for
Not
our
the lounge.
community.
After
5 o'clock,
hours.
6 o'clock.
After
And the community will be able to stay in that beautiful hotel that's right on the Razorback Greenway on the weekends.
One of the things I'm personally excited about is the rooftop lounge. And as you know, as Doug mentioned, Sam Walton was a big hunter. And the family, the Walton family, spends a lot of its cherished memories together down in South Texas, quail hunting on a lease down in Falfurrias, Texas. And till to this day, they still use those properties and hunt the same lands that Sam and Helen were at. And we wanted to capture some of the essence of that part of the country and that part of their family. And so the name of that rooftop lounge will be called Falfurrias. And so it'll be a neat payout for the family there and for people. And I think it'll be a real popular spot on the campus.
That's right. Team meeting?
Sure.
Okay.
After hours.
Dan. Right next door, Welcome Center, our brand new Spark Shop. You'll see that on the tour across campus if you haven't already. It really is a kind of the jewel box on campus, if you will. But let's move over to some office buildings, shall we? The Cheer building is a building where we just moved our fashion team into just a few weeks ago. They've been kicking the tires. They've settled in. They've helped us a lot. The Old Roy building is the second of 12 buildings. Each building has a very special name to our culture. These spaces around have been really fun to make sure that purpose, values, and that special Walmart story comes to life. There's a lot of fully flexible spaces, the variety of spaces to work independently in small groups, in large groups. That's what a campus is all about. And I think that is going to be a pretty big unlock. I have found that when associates get up to those the patios or those terraces, they don't quite want to leave. That is what it's about, natural daylight, dynamically tinting glass that will move throughout the day and bring that natural daylight. Those 3 litmus tests, parking, daylight, and food, brings it all into every single interior space in the office buildings. They're located throughout campus. You all know this. We have 4 distinct neighborhood designs, right, all around the heart of campus, in the center, which is here at Sam Walton Hall. I would like to say, Dan, that we've added a few new features that you may not be familiar with. We know that culture and art and design and brand all merge. So a big thank you to Marlon Blackwell and Associates for designing this beautiful water feature called the Deconstructed Barn. We feel like it's simple, affordable materials, but brings that Arkansas vibe right to campus. So we're excited to get that under construction.
And that brings us to this facility, really at the heart of campus. This is Sam Walton Hall, the overall facility. We're in the auditorium of Sam Walton Hall. It's a 1,500-seat auditorium, sits across the conference center. It's all about communication. That's one thing that was really a core tenet of Sam Walton was when we were communicating as a team, we were always doing better. Saturday morning meetings, officer meetings, and those things. We'll have TV production and Walmart radio here in this hall. On the second and third floors, we have a Walmart Academy, and this is where we bring our associates in from the field Our people team will lead their first sessions here next week, but this is where a lot of where we build out and the scale the culture of Walmart is in these training centers that will sit in this building.
Tuesday, first welcome to Walmart classes start. Pretty cool first day on campus, I would think, for sure. Next door, Helen's Amphitheater. Terrace seating, native stone, beautiful dogwood trees. We took design cues from this building and Helen's Amphitheater from the Walton family home. Sam and Helen famously hosted a lot of company picnics on that family lawn. So it just feels really great to have those two places here together and in the heart of campus.
Maybe not in January, but here in the spring. But let's talk about our commitment to have 10% of our campus associates actively commuting to campus here. This includes cycling, of course. We have 1,000 bike parking spaces throughout campus and just received our first order of campus pedal bikes, which are designed by our own merchants, which is exciting. That bike parking is at every building entry. And already, as we've been building this culture of cycling, associates have ridden more than 209,000 miles to work, and 25% of them have used a shared e-bike. So we're really encouraged by the progress we've made coming in, and we know that'll only be better. Yep. The fact that I already talked about the connection to the Razorback Greenway through campus, I'd argue this is probably the most beautiful stretch with multiple tunnels for uninterrupted rides. And the final connection of the 8th Street corridor that transformed a narrow 2-lane city street into a major east-west artery with wide, safe sidewalks and bike paths, and most importantly to everybody who has been probably cursing the fact that they can't get across town, 8th Street opens tonight.
We know that's a big deal. You ready for it, Mayor? When Dan, I remember sort of saying we want 10% of our associates to commute, I remember thinking, oh, that's gonna be tough. But with 50% of our associates living within 5 miles of this campus and watching their behavior while we get ready for movement to this new home office makes me feel like we're gonna really knock it out of the park. If down in the southeast, so south of 8th Street, next door, the 8th and Plate Food Hall, 12 unique outlets for our Walmart associates, including our very own Chick-fil-A and Ozark Mountain Bagel, another favorite in these parts. It's beautiful and will also cater the many, many activations we'll have around the home office. Joined with David Glass Technology Center, remember, 12 buildings plus David Glass, we've been renovating new pedestrian bridge across that 8th Street for safe traffic pattern. We've got patio renovations, we got office space renovations coming this year. And nearby is also a second water feature, like the deconstructed barn by Marlon Blackwell and Associates, and that's called The Stream. So Arkansas Big Nature really starts to come together and is viewable by all those wonderful office buildings that surround it. That brings us to maybe a building we'll spend just a minute on, which is our big building we call the Upstream building. A lot of this job has had all of us swimming upstream. We've asked a lot of you to do things different, to challenge the status quo, to be modular, to be elegant, to be efficient, to be Walmart. And I think this Upstream building will exemplify a lot of that. She is 5 stories, and she is a full mass timber building, and I would say is one of the largest of 5 mass timber buildings under construction in the U.S. today. This campus, in fact, right now is the largest mass timber project going on in the United States.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. Made primarily with southern yellow pine that is regionally sourced, a lot of it here in southern Arkansas. It includes 1.5 million cubic feet of mass timber, which actually results in about 15% reduction in carbon emissions when compared to conventional materials. And with Mass Timber Factory operating in Arkansas, like we touched on, we're creating jobs here in the state. Will be part of a growing part of a nascent industry around mass timber, which is really exciting. Every associate building is designed to LEED Platinum standards. Our campus is powered by renewable energy, and we're adding rooftop solar to the layout center, which will generate enough power for a fully electric campus fleet.
Regenerative, saves money, total lifetime cost, easy to maintain. To us, that really is EDLC.
Modern day truck there, taking Sam's old truck.
You want to see her again? When you go out, part of our fleet is all electric, so everything from the leaf blowers to the drone window cleaners. We bought a few electric Ford F-150s in that design, and she's out there on the tour route today. You all know this, if you've been working with us on the project, getting more for less. That was a challenge, Greg, you gave us from the very beginning, not through cutting corners in design. but we needed to save money so we could invest in modern, contemporary amenities like this auditorium we sit in today. To me, these are some of those big lessons, like how did we do it? We bought a lot direct, we bought a lot early. It's modular, these are a kit of parts. 95% of the light fixtures on campus, Gensler, Cindy, you know this, it's the same light fixture. It's one light bulb we have to stock and maintain. Everything is function over form. While some things are absolutely beautiful, they all have flexibility and functionality, and we stick into our decisions. You all know this too. A job like this change orders will kill you. Your schedule, your budget, and usually go over by 20% or more. And our total cost now is right around 2% to the job. So you're doing your part. We're not adjusting where we need to get in, but we know we'll learn a lot along the way and make the minor revisions we need to do without sacrificing the schedule or the budget. Sound good? Right?
Sounds great.
I will tell you that one exciting set of announcements we'd love to get to on amenities is taking you through the street front retail shops for a minute. We shared with our associates today some of those new services and companies coming to campus. Can we just run through those with you today?
Yeah, real quick. Obviously, we've got to have a Walmart pharmacy. So there'll be a pharmacy on 8th Street right there that'll help serve both the community and our associates. Bentonville Bicycle Company, it's a well-known local bike shop that will be on the campus. Gearhead Outfitters, which is a regional popular outdoor apparel company. The Gents Place, nationally known barbershop and social lounge. Jamba Juice, new to market, national smoothie format. And Swig, which is a refreshing drinks and delicious treats, I'm told.
Right?
I've never been there
like
yet, but I hear
Swig.
it's good.
The 20 to 30 set, no Swig. Let's talk about a few more restaurants. Wright's Barbecue, the best barbecue destination in Northwest Arkansas, if I might say. Flyway Brewing is coming to Walmart campus. It's a regional 10-barrel brew pub founded here in Arkansas. Yokozuna Sushi is a new-to-market modern Asian cuisine, almost like an urban sushi market. We don't have sushi in the food hall. We don't have barbecue in the food hall. So that really rounds out the offerings for our associates. We're adding Hatch Early Mood Food. So this is a wonderful new-to-market breakfast and fun lunch spot. And rounding out that group is Reserva Tapas Bar and Tapas. Reserva Bar and Tapas. Reserva Bar and Tapas. They're new to market. It's Mediterranean full service, and they've got a great global wine selection. They'll start to open this summer, and we have a few spots left. So we have more announcements in services and restaurants to bring a little bit later in 2025.
Another real popular place here in town is Airship Coffee, and I love the design of this particular space. It's going to have a walk-up window. It's really neat. Onyx Coffee is another very popular one here in town. This is going to be down on the south part of the property in Bud's Preserve, and as you can tell, this is going to be really cool. I think it's going to be the first time that in this region where you have a bike-through and bike-over coffee shop that will not only be for associates, but be for the entire community.
I would also tell you that one thing that'll start to look a little different on this campus are those parking decks.
Yeah.
We need them, we love them, we want them. But Marlon and his team really sort of helped take the challenge of how do we blend them more with the natural setting, the campus architecture, the language of campus design. And they themselves will start to become works of art with metal facades. This is a great image of our decks kind of down at Bud's Preserve, really taking the warm tones of the nature and mimicking the delta that's really part and parcel to our Arkansas roots here.
Yeah, in fact, more than 60% of the art on campus either comes from our archives or our associates. As our work and workplaces changes, our purpose and our values don't. In fact, we named our new streets after those values: respect, integrity, customer, and excellence. And I'm pleased to share that we've added Associate Drive. Thank you. It was previously P Street, but is now called Associate Drive, which we're really excited about.
That's
Appreciate everybody's work and cooperation on that.
Yeah, the sign went up yesterday. All right, let's get going.
Awesome. Well, really thank you. Appreciate everybody being here. Now I have the opportunity and pleasure of introducing my friend and our governor, Sarah Sanders.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Right here.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon. It is exciting to be here and such an honor to join you for the grand opening of Walmart's new home office. We were just talking a few minutes ago. Several years ago, I had the privilege of standing on top of the parking deck with Cindy and seeing the vision. I don't think any of us could have dreamed how incredible it would all be when it was finally coming together. What a spectacular job. Congratulations to each one of you, and thank you for letting me be here today and share in this celebration for our entire state and frankly for our entire country. A story that most of you probably don't know is that last year my youngest son George, who's 9, had a project in school called Heroes in History. You got to pick whoever you wanted and come dressed up as that person, but you had to do research and give a presentation on the person that you chose. And George decided to go as Sam Walton. Thanks to some friends that are here, I won't name names because I think they may have broken the rules in order to help me procure it, but somebody, no names, he works in government affairs, was able to get one of the official Walmart badges for George's costume that said, "Hi, my name is Sam." And it really set off his entire presentation. But because George is in 3rd grade, when he was doing research, there was a particular story that stood out to him about one of the very first store openings. One I'm glad that we are not repeating today. Apparently, when Sam opened one of the very first Walmarts, they decided they wanted to do something to make it really special. And the big idea was that they would have Walmart and donkey rides outside for customers to enjoy as they started to come in. But they didn't really think it through because it was incredibly hot that day. In fact, it was so hot that some of the watermelons literally exploded in the parking lot. I won't go into a lot of detail, but when you have exploding watermelons and donkeys, it's a really bad combination. They tracked watermelon juice and other things all inside the brand new store. I'm pretty sure this is where the famous phrase "clean up on aisle 4" came from, which was definitely George's favorite spot of his speech. I'm glad that we're not doing that today, and in all seriousness, looking around, it's hard to believe that we're not in Silicon Valley or New York City. I think it's safe to say that Arkansas has never had a development project like this ever before, and probably ever again. But the team here at Walmart has never been worried about being the first to do something big. And they've never been deterred when someone from New York or California says, "Bentonville, Arkansas, where is that?" To the entire Walmart team, thank you for your investment and your enormous commitment to our state. My favorite thing about Walmart is what it says about all of America. That with smarts, hard work, and a little bit of luck, you can turn a small 5 and dime into the biggest company in the world. But that doesn't mean it was easy. Sam Walton's first store in Newport, Arkansas, was making so much money that the landlord decided to cancel his lease and take over the store himself. As Doug mentioned earlier, Sam and Helen searched high and low all over this part of the country for another location that they could open a store, and they were able to make it work right here in Bentonville, Arkansas. It's not an accident that Walmart and so many other great companies thrive in our state. I think there's something a little bit special and maybe even in the water here in the natural state. Something that inspired a poor kid named Johnny Cash to pick up a guitar and try and scratch out a living on the radio. Something that inspired 9 black students in Little Rock to march into segregated Central High and get the education that was their right. Something that convinced a young lawyer named Bill Clinton that he had any business running for Congress at the young age of 28, Attorney General at 30, and Governor at 32. Something that lit a fire in Sam Walton to find any way physically possible to cut costs, save money, and serve his customers. Sam Walton wrote in his memoir, "I always favored the Mavericks. I may have fought them all the way, but I respected them, and in the end, I listened to them. Only a maverick would have imagined 60 years ago that Bentonville would be one of the business hubs, not just of Arkansas, but of America, and really the entire world. Only a maverick would have envisioned a campus like this. and only a maverick could have built Walmart. It's not lost on me that we are far away from the days of the Walton five and dime. Walmart now has 2.1 million employees worldwide, about 2/3 of the entire population of Arkansas, and your annual revenues are mind-blowing, and we hope they continue to grow and grow. But you haven't lost the maverick mentality that made this company so great to begin with. And I know that with this new headquarters, your ability to keep customers, save money, and live better will be stronger than it's ever been before. I know I speak for our entire state when I say how grateful I am that Walmart has stayed true to its roots through all of the years. You've never turned your back on Bentonville, Northwest Arkansas, or the entire state that we're lucky enough that you call home. And we will certainly always return the favor and never turn our backs on you. Thank you to this incredible team for your hard work, for your dedication. Thank you to the entire Walton family, and congratulations on this historic moment and for letting us share a small part in being with you here today. Thank you.